Hey everybody, thanks for subscribing, liking. Please like the video, share it if you will. Headed home, rainy, cold day. Got off a little bit early from work. Had to unload a truck. Excuse me. Everybody got wet. Still cold, you know. The building gets cold, it stays cold, so we all got told to go home just a little bit early. But I wanted to make this video and talk a little bit about the brood bitch and selecting a breeding pair. You know, it was told to me not long ago by a friend that Walter Komasinski asked him a couple questions about breeding, and you know, he asked me if he knew anything about roosters, and the guy said, he said, yeah. He said, you don't ever hear about hen fights, but you hear about the cockfights. So there's a reason for that, and that just makes a lot of sense to me. I firmly believe that the brood bitch is the most important part of the breeding pair, but the female can get a passage, if you will, a little bit of a break. The male, he doesn't get a break. That's just, you want to breed to the best male that you possibly can. And that goes, the best individual with the best pedigree. I hear all the time and see all the time, and it's true, the dog makes the pedigree. And I didn't quite understand it at one point in time about the litter being the average of its parents, of its pedigree. And over time, that's statistics. Over time, that's a weighted averages. If you breed, if you produce 100 puppies from the same breeding pair, what are the averages? 30 are going to be above, 30 are going to be below, and 40 are going to be right around the average of the pedigree. It might even be 10 above, 10 below, and 80 the average of the pedigree. So what that tells me is I want to breed the best individual with the best pedigree. And it's something that, you're just breeding pedigree and all that. People that don't come and know your situation, they're going to pass judgment on it. But when you don't have any knowledge of it, that really, it rings hollow, the words that are being said. All that said, how do you choose that dog? For the sake of this, I'm going to talk about a friend of mine that does weight pull stuff, and he has a female that is a very, very accomplished, well done female weight pull dog. She won third in her class in one, and won nationals in the other. Third at one nationals, won her class at the next nationals, won several pound for pounds and all that. But my buddy's going to breed her to a dog that he's seen that is just a phenomenal weight pull dog. And so, out of phenomenal weight pull dogs, so you would think that he would produce phenomenal weight pull dogs, especially bred to a female that is an excellent dog in her own right. So that's a good way to base a breeding program. That's a good way to go about it. If I'm wanting to get into top dog competition, I take the best female top dog that I have, and I go find the most accomplished male top dog in the country that I can breed to. I may not get to breed to the number 1 or the number 2 dog or the number 3 dog. I might just have an outstanding athlete on my yard that I breed her to, with an eye towards that. So you really need to look at what you're attempting to accomplish, what you're trying to do with the breeding. And you know, there's also, you know, we did hammer sativa because in the past the mixture of blood worked. We deemed both of them worthy of being bred for what we wanted. And that comes down to another thing I'll touch here in a minute. So we bred something that happened, it worked in the past. You know, there's also stuff that didn't work in the past. There's dogs in pedigrees that are pure trash, and you wonder why they're in the pedigree. And maybe it happened before, maybe it happened after. You know, I know in one case someone was lied to. You know, I don't know in another that I know of the dog, and I'm not sure on the other, but you know, 2-3 generations out, you start seeing stuff that you didn't see before you added an out. And that's, you know, that stuff happens. That's in the pedigrees. You got to breed it out, or you don't double up or triple up on it. I see a lot of people posting up, I got 3 times this dog, or 3 times that, or 5 times this dog. I know what they're talking about, or triple bred this. You know, you got to make sure that stuff is what you want. And I'm going to go back to, you know, I said what we deemed as being worthy of being bred. That's where trust comes in. That's where, if I'm the consumer, I'm going to buy, I'm on the search for a puppy. I need to trust the people I'm getting the puppy from. That they bred dogs that are, I don't want to say worthy of being bred, but that are examples of what they do, or what I'm looking for. Those are good examples, and the breeding was done with integrity. There's a lot of people out there I wouldn't take a pup off of. There's a lot of well-known people. There's legends in their own mind, mini legends, dog men, people with dogs that have done breedings that I would not take a puppy from them. And it's all off of who they are as a person, and the reason I don't want the dog from it. They might have made the best breeding in the world, but them as a person, their integrity, I question. Their integrity, I know, is non-existent. Then I don't mess with them. It's just how it is. I'm not talking about a $500 dog. You know, I don't have money to burn. But in today's world, a $500 dog isn't even a paycheck, and that's that has to be something extremely mind-boggling for me to purchase. I look, if that's what you sell your dogs for, if that's what you buy, then more power to you. I'm not looking for average. I'm looking for phenomenal and phenomenal cost. Whether the stud dog, the bitch, the puppies, the pedigree, however you want to look at it, phenomenal cost money. People's time, energy, and years cost money. And so first and foremost, if I'm looking for something, I'm trying to get something from somebody that is the reputation is excellent. I know not everybody's for everybody, and certainly there's people out there that I don't like and they don't like me, and that's fine. I get it. But if I'm looking for something, I ask around. I don't just see the pedigree on Facebook or see it on YouTube or Twitter or Instagram. I don't look at it on Pets Online or pedigree.cz and say to myself, I want that. I ask around, I ask people I trust, people I know, and see what they have to say about what's going on with the certain animal or the person. That's really all I wanted to touch on was the stud dog, the brood bitch, and being selective. There's a gentleman bought a pup from me. He asked if he could come pick it up early, and I told him I don't let my pups go. And he came back with, well, technically it's my pup. And I didn't know what to say to that. And he was coming through, and he lived on the other side of the country. And so he got his puppy a week early. And when he showed up, he had a puppy from another guy with him, and the puppy looked to be on death's door. Warm belly, see its ribs, smelled like shit. Just didn't look very well at all. And I see this person posting pups all the time, and have friends that swear by them, and I've never talked to my friends about this because it's not, my opinion, I don't want my opinion to sway them, especially unsolicited. And if they're having success with dogs off the line, I don't have no business telling them, if they don't know, it's not my job. I'm not the grand poobah, the moral compass of the American Pit Bull Terrier world. But this dog, I wouldn't own one of them. I wouldn't feed one of them. You couldn't give me one of them. I don't want it. And that's just, some people may say, oh, that's sour grapes. Some people may say this or that, but whatever it is, so be it. But I'm not gonna jeopardize my yard. And I told the guy that came, I wouldn't put those two puppies together. And he said he wasn't gonna. And I don't know if that guy ever got back a hold of the breeder of the one pup, but I know he's got a hold of me several times wanting to get something else from me. We haven't always been successful, but our goal is to give, when we place a pup in your hands, it is the picture of health, and that's just how it goes. Like I said, always not successful, and if you know I'll just leave that at that. I'll talk about puppy care probably tomorrow, the next day. We've got some pups that are just now starting the weaning process. I've made a few short videos on them. Feeding time and all that. They're gonna get wormed again. They're worming and being weaned, and that they'll be good to go. They'll be off to mom by this weekend, and eating, drinking, doing all that. And I'll show you some tips and some of the stuff that we do. But anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing. Please share. Tell your friends, their friends. This is not something that we're gonna get away from. I'm gonna make these videos for as long as I can, as many a day as I possibly can make. But hope y'all have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later.